Hey there, and welcome. If you've ever looked at academic writing and felt like you were staring up at this impossibly huge mountain, well, you're definitely in the right place. Today we're going to talk about how to turn that whole challenge into a path you can actually walk, a strategic one.
Okay, so let's dive right in. We need to talk about a problem that, let's be honest, almost every grad student, academic, and researcher runs into. It's what we call the academic writing dilemma, and it can be a total roadblock for even the most brilliant ideas.
Does this feel familiar? You've got this amazing idea, cooking for your thesis or a new paper. But the second you sit down, open that laptop, poof, it's gone. You just feel stuck, maybe a little overwhelmed, and you have absolutely no idea where to even start. And these aren't just feelings, they're real hurdles. It's that absolute terror of the blank page, right? Or the constant struggle to find any time to write when you're also juggling a super demanding job. You know you've got a great concept, but turning it into that structured academic language feels like a whole different skill set. And maybe the biggest one of all, finding that crucial research gap that makes your work stand out. But here's the thing to remember. These are not just your problems, they are universal.
So what's the way out? Well, it's not just about trying to write more or forcing yourself to sit at the desk longer. It's actually about learning to think in a different way. It's about learning to think strategically.
And that's the key right there. Strategic thinking. It's the actual skill of taking all those amazing, complex thoughts swirling around in your head and methodically building them into something clear, structured, and, well, impactful. It's not some kind of magic trick. It's a process. And just like any skill, you can learn it. You can totally master it.
And listen, this isn't just some abstract idea. The entire point of this workshop is summed up perfectly here. It's built from the ground up to create that bridge between your strategic ideas and powerful academic writing, giving you the real, practical tools you need to get past those roadblocks for good.
So, how does this whole strategic process actually play out? Well, it all kicks off with building a totally rock-solid research foundation. Let's take a look at what happens on day one, because every great piece of research has to start from the ground up. On day one, it is all about laying that essential groundwork. I mean, you can't build a strong house on a shaky foundation, right? Same thing here. This is where you really get to grips with the existing knowledge out there so you can find your own unique space in the conversation. Now, this is where it gets really cool, because this process totally demystifies the literature review. Instead of just chaotic searching, it becomes a system. And let me tell you, that third step, the literature matrix, is an absolute game changer. By organizing papers in a simple table, you can literally see where the conversation is missing something. And just like that, the research gap isn't a mystery anymore. It becomes a bright, shining target.
Okay, so once you've mapped out the whole landscape, your foundation is set, it's solid. Now it's time to start building on it. Day two is all about taking that knowledge and forging the core argument, the absolute heart of your research.
This is the point where your big idea really starts to take shape. We're talking about moving from just a general topic to a super sharp, compelling research problem that just begs to be solved. And this is the fundamental question that Day 2 is built to help you answer. You'll be guided through a process to pinpoint and articulate your core problem, not as some vague idea, but with total precision and clarity.
And this right here illustrates a super important distinction that you'll get the hang of. Is your research mainly answering an academic need, filling the gap in the theory? Or is it an industrial need, solving a real-world, practical problem? You'll actually learn how to frame your problem to hit both, which makes your work so much more impactful. But just defining the problem isn't quite enough. You have to be ready to answer the single most important question any researcher will ever face. So what, right? Why does this matter? Who is actually going to benefit from this? This whole section is about helping you nail down the significance of your study.
So how do you make sure your entire argument holds together? The key is creating a clear, logical thread that runs through the whole thing, and that's where this mapping system comes in. It's a really practical tool that forges a direct link between your intro, your problem statement, and the needs of your study. It basically guarantees that every single part of your proposal supports all the others. It's the blueprint for a truly watertight argument. Okay, so with the what and the why locked down, we get to the final stage, designing the how. Day 3 is when you sit down and draw up the complete, detailed blueprint for your research project.
This day is all about the nuts and bolts, the methodology and the execution. It's where you map out the practical, step-by-step plan that's going to guide you all the way from your research question to your final conclusion.
And check out this toolkit. You'll learn how to write super precise research questions, pick the right design for your project, and figure out your sampling strategy. And hey, Here's a pro tip. Really pay attention to number 4, operational definitions. Seriously, clearly defining your terms and your scope right from the start is the best way to avoid that dreaded scope creep later on. It keeps your project focused and, most importantly, doable.
So by the end of this 3-day journey, you've gone through a complete transformation. You really do go from that starting point of feeling uncertain and stuck to a place of genuine confidence, totally ready to defend your work.
And we cover all those final, absolutely critical steps. You'll learn how to build in validity and reliability checks, navigate all the ethical considerations, map out a realistic timeline, and even get ready for your Viva. We leave nothing to chance. And this is the bottom line. This is the ultimate outcome. You walk in with an idea or maybe just a few notes, maybe even that blank page. You're gonna walk out with a complete, coherent, and compelling research proposal. And this whole transformation from a simple idea to a full-blown blueprint all happens in just 3 focused, intense days. It's absolute proof that the goal is to work smarter, not just harder. And the results of taking this strategic approach really do speak for themselves. You'll leave with a massive upgrade in your strategic thinking, a very real improvement in your academic writing, and maybe the most important thing of all, a huge boost in your research confidence.
So I guess the final question is for you. Are you ready to stop struggling with that blank page and start building something incredible? Are you ready to take that brilliant idea of yours and finally turn it into the impactful research you know it can be?